Today on the Matt Walsh Show, children's hospitals around the country are butchering, mutilating, and sterilizing their young patients. So according to Boston Children's Hospital, literally every toddler who has ever been born or will ever be born is trans. Now, if it seems like they're casting the widest imaginable net in order to catch the most children they can and put them all on a path to sterilization and butchery before they can even talk, well, that's because that's exactly what these monsters are doing. And they've done.
The fact that this kind of narrative can continue, by the way, is pretty incredible. But yet again, it's another example that, like, just no one gives a shit about trans people. Like, people just do not care about trans people. People talk shit about trans people. People literally call for blood. People call for the heads of trans people, and they can get away with it because no one cares. It is really fucked up. How are you legally just allowed to say whatever the fuck you want about a person or entity with zero repercussions? There's no protections. There are no protections.
Done it up until this moment without much resistance from the public. But that has to end. We have to stop making it so easy on them. And that's why I'm in the very early stages of trying to organize a national coordinated effort to fight back against this evil. You know, it's really just a matter of where do we begin. Maybe we begin at Boston Children's Hospital.
Boston Children's Hospital says its staff is being threatened and harassed now after far-right activists on social media posted misinformation claiming they perform gender-affirming hysterectomy procedures on young girls. The hospital says it's not true. They do not perform those procedures for anyone under the age of 18. Boston Children's Hospital says it is proud, though, to be home to the first pediatric and adolescent transgender.
The scary reality here is that if enough people are transphobic, you can just get away with this. If enough people are fucking white supremacists, you can get away with this. If enough people are anti-Semitic, you can say this and literally institute pogroms. It is the exact same bullshit, okay? That is the unfortunate, scary reality, okay? If there were adequate measures in place, there should be some, like, this person would be in jail. Like, he would literally be in jail. That is insane. It is completely fucking insane that Matt Walsh can go on his broadcast and straight up be like, we need to start a mass campaign against Boston Children's Hospital. And the goal is not about the truth, by the way. Let me just clear something up here. When you turn around and talk to a person like this or talk to one of their fucking followers and you say, well, technically they're not doing hysterectomies under the age of 18, you're actually wrong. Don't misunderstand. They probably know. They do not care. You have to recognize that, like, they are lying specifically so they can get more people on board with their cause. You're not going to be able to change their minds, and you're not going to be able to change the minds of a lot of people, because ultimately the conversation was never about trans women competing in sports. The conversation was never about trans women going and using the correct bathroom. The conversation always was about trans people existing. By the way, I love when conservatives post their L's. Drag queens in the upstate arrested for sex crimes against children in the last 2 years, 0. Pastors in the upstate arrested for sex crimes against children in the last 2 years. I mean, I guess this isn't a conservative posting their fucking L's. I think this is like a liberal, right? No shot of fucking conservative is like being like, why aren't they arresting more drag queens? They're only arresting pastors. There's no fucking shot. Yo, this is the new talking point, by the way, where people go, now do teachers. I mean, okay, fine, sure. Yeah. Yes, do that too. It's such a stupid take. Elon, what is this? He went to Kevin McCarthy's party last night in Wyoming to celebrate Liz Cheney's loss. While speaking at the MAGA party, Musk asked everyone to deny he was there. Musk made sure that no press was allowed anywhere near the property. Then people started posting selfies. Bucket list selfie. Thank you, Elon Musk. I love that. This seems normal in the UK. What? Why we would all benefit from the feeling of the odd hunger pang. Despite it being nothing new, the word fasting seems to strike fear into people. Here's why you shouldn't be afraid of it. It's time to rethink how much water we drink. We're constantly reminded to stay hydrated, especially in a heat wave, but drinking large amounts might not be as healthy as people like to think. What the fuck is happening? Don't throw it away. Moldy foods you can eat won't do you any harm. And what could be more romantic than a blackout? What is happening in the UK? Are you guys running out of food and water? And electricity? Like, is that what's going on? And the media is slowly but surely trying to fucking let you ease into that reality or something? What is this? The majority of Ethan's recommended is Hasan. That's awesome. Look at his recommended. Trump had what at Mar-a-Lago? Most racist man in America prank. One of the hardest decisions of my life. Trolley Problem Inc. Let's go. And then a femcel video with 60 views. That's concerning. See the new partying scandal about Zanna? Yes, I know. She's always up in the fucking news, you know? And the real problem I have with Zanna is that she's not partying with me, so I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? That is the biggest controversy in my opinion. Like, she's out here partying and not with me, and that is fucked up, okay? I'll just say it. I think most people that are upset about Zanna, you know, being a cat girl or Zanna fucking partying are just mad that she's not partying with them. At least I can recognize that inside of myself. Finland's Prime Minister Marin Zanna is in the headlines after a video of her partying was leaked today. She has previously been criticized for attending too many music festivals and spending too much time partying instead of ruling. The critic says he's not fitting of a PM. It is pretty wild that, like, the Finnish prime minister is, like, you know, like our age. She's, like, young. She's, like, 27, 28 or something. I don't know how old she is. Hold on. Let me look her up again. The prime minister of Finland is 36 years old. I was wrong. Okay. But still our age. And, you know, she's partying all the time. They fucking yelled at her for being wearing cat ears and shit. She is disgusting. Wait, why? I know. I love Zanna. It just, it's a big L for all the eligible bachelors worldwide that Zanna is married. I mean, it's good though. She gets to be hot, and there's nothing wrong with that. This is wonderful. Quiet quitting. Gen Z's ditching the hustle culture to avoid burnout. I love that. I love that under capitalism. Okay, under capitalism, when you just do your job and like nothing more, that's called quiet quitting now. It's like, oh no, it's called doing your fucking job and not putting in extra effort. Why would you do that? I love that. I love that article. Workers are now quiet quitting or quitting the idea of going above and beyond at work. He explains how he sees quiet quitting, a term he said he recently learned. You're still performing your duties, but you're no longer subscribing to the hustle culture mentality that work has to be your life. The reality is, it's not. He's part of spreading a trend that's basically telling people to take it easy at work, stop taking on added responsibilities outside of the role's description, or work for extra hours. Burnout isn't new. Millennials practically invented the word, but their younger colleagues and some millennials themselves are trying to avoid burnout and simply do the job that's asked of them. It's the latest salvo in a pandemic-era tug-of-war between managers and junior colleagues all over work-life balance. Nice. They're making the hustle culture of the 2010s a distant memory and replacing it with something of a comeback of the Gen X's 1990s era slacker culture. Are you taking part of the quiet quitting trend? Yes, 74%. Yeah. Nobody wants to work anymore. And by that, I mean nobody wants to fucking slave away endlessly for maybe the prospect of a raise that you may or may not get. That's crazy. Fuck that. Suck me.